Welcome to NEREJ NYREJ podcast. I'm your host, Rick Kaplan. We have a special guest today, and we welcome him. Is Louis Mendonca, and he is the CEO of Elite Wellness Amenity Group. And Louis, welcome.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you for having me, man. Nothing but blessings in the new year. And yeah, hoorah, man. Let's rock and roll.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about your journey and how you got to where you are today.
Well, just to kind of answer that question, my journey starts around fitness, man. My whole life, I've been a fitness enthusiast, played sports, basketball, football. Fitness was really something that I was very passionate about young on, whether on the football field, basketball court. Then eventually, as I continued to grow and I found myself working at a gym, and then from the gym, overseeing the gym, and then taking on my own journey in business, starting a fitness company that sent personal trainers to go directly to people's home because we saw a real disconnect when it came to people and just training and staying disciplined. And we found that that approach made more sense after really diving really deep and really understanding the psychological side of fitness that usually impacts people when it comes to them staying disciplined and consistent with training.
So how long have you actually had this company going on, where you go into people's homes or you go through an office?
Good question. So Elite Home Fitness going on 8 years now. Started the company right on my kitchen table with the vision of just sending personal trainers, like I said, directly to people's home and just in reality, so they don't make no excuses. They just got it done. We found that a lot of the hassles and the barriers that people dealt with in their busy lives usually impacted the way they worked out. So when we decided to send trainers to their home, it eliminated all of those barriers and made fitness super convenient for them to get done. So started the business that way. Then after that, we came across residential apartment buildings where we started servicing them because they already had gyms inside. Then from there, we decided to franchise the business. I franchised the business, opened up other locations. We have a New York location. We service New Jersey. We service Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Elite Wellness Amenity Group, which is the sister company of Elite Home Fitness. That company specializes in only working with residential commercial buildings, and that's where we're at now. That side of the business is only 6 months old, as I like to say, but it's 6 months full of excitement because through the years running Elite Home Fitness, we compiled so much data in relations to human behaviors and other retrospect on why fitness should be incorporated in CRE properties in the form of an amenity.
That's a great idea. And, one of the things that I always have heard about the fitness industry is that people that are not in shape, people that are overweight, tend to not want to go to a gym because they're kind of embarrassed, and and you don't want to go to a place where you have people that are in great physical shape, and then there's you, you know. So they get kind of intimidated, and that makes the decision easy for because all they need is that one little push to say, "Nah, you don't want to do this," and that does it for them. So, I mean, do you find that if you go to their home or you give them that special attention, that makes it easier for them to go to a gym or to have someone come in and help them?
Absolutely, man. And thanks for sharing what you said about, just dealing with those negative when they do go to the gym. Those are real issues. But there's also other added on issues that they do face, like busy schedule, in the case of moms, hey, I don't want to bring my kid to a daycare, they're at a gym. So there's all these different negative that people usually face that prevents them from going to the gym. As I tell the team all the time, I mean, fitness has nothing to do with movement. movement is just one tiny component of fitness. Like I've never seen no one make it to an actual gym and actually don't work out. As we always say, the challenge first is getting there. And that's where most people kind of fall into that pitfall of, second guessing whether they go or not go. Do they wait tomorrow? And before you know it, they put it off. So those were some of the psychology that we really understood when we were running Elite Home Fitness. But as we made the transition to Elite Wellness Amenity Group, it gave us a better vision and really understanding how residential multi-level apartments, when they do build their building out, they could incorporate this value point into their actual real estate, and it adds more value to the actual property. A good 90% of residential buildings, when they build out their real estate, they do the same thing that gyms do. They just pack it with a bunch of equipment and they tell residents, hey, go figure this thing out for yourself. And if we look at data tells us that less than 10% of people stay consistent when it comes to that actual amenity. And it's one of the most valuable amenity that any residential property can have. It's responsible for 75% on why people say, hey, I'm going to move into your property. And that percentage usually trickles down to other form of value like retention, rent justification, NOI, and all the metrics that owners usually use to evaluate the current value of their property. But at the same time, owners just build them completely abandoned. And residents are not engaged. Residents are not motivated to come down. So these are all the behaviors that we saw in Elite Home Fitness, and it's those same behaviors that we currently see now as we're pushing really aggressive in the CRE space.
Now, you mentioned the key word behaviors, because this is all behavior. Someone lives in a apartment complex and they have a gym downstairs. If they don't have that motivation or learn that behavior, they won't continuously go. Because I know myself, if I go for 2, 3 months on a regular basis,
Hmm.
after that it's like, oh, I can't miss it. I
Hmm.
gotta go. I gotta go.
Hmm.
Uh, and it becomes a behavior. It becomes a part of a way of my life. I have to do it. And I think that's something that people will create. And that also then turns into uh, changing how they are motivated. And, what you're doing is great for employees that have this facility, because now they can have an employee get into that routine and then they learn that motivation. And motivation can leak over or roll over into all different parts of your life. Correct? You see some of these people that get motivated to do this, and then now they're motivated to try to get a promotion and things like that. You find that?
Absolutely, man. Fitness is a way of life, It really affects every single area of your life, from how you wake up in the morning full of energy to how your perspective of the world is when you go and tackle it. It's a way of life. I've never seen, like I said, I made this statement earlier. I've never seen someone go into a gym and then get a great workout and then leave that gym with a bad attitude. It's always like, hey, man, I feel good. I feel great. I feel awesome. You kind of see those different behaviors in their face in terms of excitement. But what ends up happening is, the discipline is not there, and as time goes by, they lose it. And then when they lose it, they really don't have nobody to be there for them. Like I said, I mean, humans can motivate humans. Computers can never motivate humans. It's just the way it is. Eventually, the human is going to get bored out of the computer and just say, "Hey, man, okay, I can't really relate." And that's the thing about fitness, is a human-based industry, human to human, and that's the value that we are bringing to multi-level commercial residential real estate in the form of an amenity, so owners and developers can see that when they activate the actual gym that they have in their property with real humans that are creating real human-based value in their property, it adds so much value, so much value. We look at concierge, right? So concierge add value to buildings in the form of being there, security, packaging, and all these other areas there. But they don't add any health value to the actual human. Well, that's what personal training and exercising activation in your building does. It's the same as a concierge service that only adds the human value to the people in your building, make them healthier, make them stronger, bring more value to their life, longevity, all the beautiful thing that comes with just working out and moving around. Humans were designed to move around.
And I think their thought process on how they live and how they work completely changes when they start working out on a regular basis. I mean, I'm not in your business, but I can only assume that someone that can work out on a regular basis that was lazy before changes that attitude and becomes very, I use the word motivated, but they have ambition again, you know? I do see that. I mean, I can see it. I
Absolutely.
don't do it, but I can see it.
Absolutely, Rick. Absolutely. That question, the way you put it, absolutely correctness to it. They do have more ambition towards wanting to live life. Because fitness adds real value to your life in that form. It gives you something to kind of strive for, knowing that, hey, I want longevity. I think longevity is one of the things that every human wants. But, the discipline work that goes into longevity, that's another question that, we can talk about. But when you have another human there to engage the human, that discipline becomes much easier. So, in understanding exactly what we do at Elite Wellness Amenity Group, we actually activate empty gym in a seamless way with a white glove approach when it comes to fitness that motivates residents to want to come out and work out one-on-one with their coach because everything is done in a customizable way from day one when that resident move into a residential property where we are able to create independent a profile with all their assessment and all their fitness needs. And then from there, welcome them to the community. And then after they move into the community, the coach will call them down to come down and get a great workout. And then we have a portal system that allows residents to book sessions one-on-one with their coaches anytime throughout the day. That portal system allows us to see about 42 residents per day in 30-minute increment of strength training. Because strength training is one of the biggest challenges that most people deal with. Cardio is super simple. You can get on a treadmill and you can go. But strength training and the way of building muscle and doing it the correct way that it's helping you achieve a specific goal, that's a lot of the challenge that most people deal with in the industry. And we understand from from a physical standpoint, 30 minutes of strength training is all a human being needs. So we've developed a way where we can provide this service inside residential buildings and add tremendous value to that property where your resident will feel more engaged, they'll feel more connected to the actual building. At the same time, too, it's a great rent justifier. And that's one of the things that owners really need to understand, that fitness is the best form of rent justifier. It's the reason why people moved into your property anyway. We can look at the numbers and the numbers will say so. 75% of the reasons why people move into an actual building, including Gen Zs, is because of the gym. They walk in and they look at the gym and they say, wow, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get started in my journey. And then what ends up happening, they move in and that journey goes dull. Why? They don't have no human literally reaching out to them and telling them, hey, come down. Remember the reason why you moved into this building here? We are here for you. And that's what we do. As I tell the team, there's no other amenity that a building can add that will actually do that. Your rooftop deck is not going to call you and say, hey, Rick, come down and use me. Well, we're going to do that. Okay. And that's called engagement. So fitness is the best form of rent justifier, and it also plays a huge role in other value metrics that property uses. Retention. People feel more connected to their actual building when there's people who care. As I tell some of the team sometime, our team will probably know more what goes on in a building than a property manager because they'll talk it out with their trainers.
Right.
And that's what people do. So really understanding strategically how that aligns with your overall property. That's what we do, and it's exciting.
So it's like, and I'll use this analogy, it's like having a football team. If you don't have a coach, your team is going to fall apart. It's not going to do
Oh,
well. If you have a
oh yeah,
coach, yeah, they're going to push you and they're going to lead you to win,
absolutely,
right? Okay.
absolutely,
And you said something important, going back a little, that you're taking these people and they're engaging with another human first, and then you're taking them away from that all the digital access they have during the day, between a computer and the cell phone and any other electronics that are going on that that keeps them bouncing back and forth and engaged in the digital aspect of things. But there's no interaction with it except for like typing emails and typing a text, whatever. But but you're actually bringing back that social aspect almost, which people are losing today, you know,
absolutely, absolutely.
which
That's
now don't you find that an important piece of everything?
I do. That social aspect is always needed. Humans, we are social creatures. And we can look at that social creature data throughout residential apartment buildings. There's a lot of mental health crisis going on in residential building. There's a lot of residents sitting in their apartments knowing, hey, what do I do? No social, no social, no community. Okay. And strong data is out there that will back that statement that I just made. So there's real crisis going on in residential apartment buildings, real mental health crisis, and owners and developers, they can have a fiduciary duty in helping out. And how do you help out? You engage the person. You give the person a hope. You give them motivation that things can get done, that things can you can win. And that's what fitness does. When people come down and start working out with coaches after a long day of work, they feel better. When people are in their building and they're watching TV all the time and not moving around, they know that they can hit a button and they can come down and meet one-on-one with their coach for about 30 minutes and start moving and feel better. It adds so much value. It not only adds value in the terms of the actual property, it removes burden from your leasing team. They're not always knocking on your leasing team with questions that, sometimes can be tedious and very simple, or issues that can be tedious or very simple because they're just bored. They're just bored in your building. They don't know what to do.
Right.
But give them purpose and you'll see, they'll feel better. They'll talk about the building better. They'll promote the building more, and that's what fitness does. It's a real value added to any residential property. But the way that you see the industry and the way that they go about it is that old way. Okay, hey man, let's go ahead and build out this beautiful gym here, pack it with equipment. And that equipment depreciates in value every single month. I'm sorry, every single year, the month is depreciating in value. And then, okay, then what? Then what? Then what? It just sits there empty.
Right. Yeah.
Activate it and see what happens.
Right. I mean, I think you're onto something here because first of all, there's a couple of aspects that have been missing in our lifestyle, or most of like the social aspect, exercising, clearing your brain, stepping away from the everyday life of the computer and the cell phone. So, I mean, those are important things. I feel they're important things, and it sounds like you feel the same way. But, I think people need that. I think that they're starving for that, actually. You know?
Yeah, it's a real human thing. It's a real human thing. And when we forget about the human, okay, and we start putting in computers to kind of, it just takes away the feeling of what it feels like to be a human. And we should never forget that.
Well, now you wrote a book about this. Uh, Tell me a little bit about the book. And the book is Elite Wellness. Well, no, it's what is the book? The
Uh,
Elite Playbook.
Yes, it's the Elite Playbook to turning residential wellness into ROI. So in the book, it pretty much covers everything. It covers a strategy. It also covers, my own journey in fitness and how I got to where I got. In the book, it talks about, the value propositions of, when owners do add activation to their property and the value that it does bring to the property in terms of NOI, rent justification, retention, a cap rate. It talks all about that. Fitness really does add a lot of value to an actual real estate property. And if we really want to kind of just look at that value proposition in different ways, let's look at fitness retreats right now. A lot of the wellness retreats right now, they've caught on to, the fitness wave in a strong way. But residential luxury multi-level apartments, some of them have not. They still have that old way. And that old way is that empty gym. That empty gym has no value. It has no value. The only value that it brings is depreciation value. And if owners want better depreciation value, they'll add activation to that gym. That activation is 100% OpEx. It's a OpEx, so it's 100% tax deductible. Okay, it's not scheduled like the equipment in the gym. You tax season come, you're writing off 100% of that value proposition. And that value proposition in the form of rent justification, it's a great one. Okay, and really understanding how those play work, that's what's in the book here.
Now, Louis, do you set up any kind of group exercise programs? Like I know you have the one-on-one, but do you have certain days that you have a group exercise where people can come down with other residents or other workers and
Yeah,
they,
absolutely, man. Our service is so exciting in a way. It's built in the form of an amenity for one. We're not your vendors. That's not us, okay? We want to add real value to property. So yes, we provide that one-on-one service. We provide that group atmosphere, and we also provide ways where residents can actually have their own group that they can build. Right now, we're currently working on our AI-powered app that incentivizes residents when they complete fitness challenges. They can build their own community like the Peloton model within residential apartment buildings. They also are able to connect with other residents. So we're currently working on that right now, which should be rolling out at some time throughout this year. But yeah, we do provide group classes, but we see real value in that one-on-one attention because people need that one-on-one attention. They'll come down to your group class, and that's what Arch Amenity does. They provide a lot of group classes, and those group classes, sometimes no one shows up. That's just the reality about it. But we know that when people have that one-on-one session scheduled with their coach, they're going to show up because they know that that time is specifically for them.
right?
Okay. Everything is tailored specifically for them. And I want to go ahead and pull something here on my phone so you can see. And this is the white glove approach that we do provide to residents. So every single residence, they have their customized profile. The coach knows them by name. Those customized profile actually comes with real data and real tracking. And that's designed to make sure that they're in the right track when it comes to their fitness. It comes with nutrition value where they can pick up the phone and they can call a nutritionist, and the nutritionist can meet with them and design a program for them to follow. And it's complimentary because it's baked in within their rent. There's this huge value in the terms of how we do things. It's not that old model like Amenity where, they'll come in, they'll consult you on what equipment to put inside your building, and then they'll say, hey, let's go ahead and do a couple of group classes. And if your people need service in terms of personal training, we can go ahead and we can find vendors that will come in and do it. No. We don't operate like that. We operate with real human intentions at the core of what we do. And that core value is from day one. We are part of your leasing team. No more walking people to a actual gym and say, hey, this is a gym. No, that process works like this. So when you're touring residents now, instead of walking them to an empty gym, you say, hey, this is Matt. This is your building residential coach. When you move in, Matt's going to go ahead and reach out to you. He'll have you come down and he'll get you started in the right track. And when the resident moves in and meets with Matt, Matt gets everything he needs done in terms of getting to know that resident, and then create a customized profile for that resident, and then welcome that resident to your building like a human does. And then from there, the resident get access to the Elite Pro portal where it opens up at 5 a.m. in the morning, and the last training session is done at 10 p.m. at night, and they can choose any slots that they want. So this creates real community engagement to want to fight for these one-on-one slots with your coach. And then you can come down and have that 30-minute of personal time with your coach, and then your coach can set you up to do cardio on your own. And then from there, if you need nutritional support, you can pick up the phone and you can dial the residential nutritionist that's going to go ahead and create a nutritional program for you to follow. Okay. But if you want to take part into the group classes that we provide, hey, welcome, because there'll be group classes that are going to be run throughout the day. Okay.
Right.
But it doesn't really stop there. Like I said, the Elite Pro app, which is designed, which is AI power based, is designed to really get to know your community. So it will recommend other residents for you guys to connect to and do fitness activities. And we incentivize those activities in the form of discounts from local vendors around that's willing to do that. We're really bringing real value here.
So now who picks up the cost of this? Is it the
Uh,
tenant?
Uh, Good question. So the cost is picked up by the owner. So the cost is done through rent justification. So usually when owners build these capex amenities where they invest in thousands of dollars in building them, right? There's usually no way for them to really justify a ROI in a strong way. What does? There's no OpEx when you add us to your building because you already built out the gym. It's pure activation. So there's no OpEx. You don't got to build out anything. Okay. Great rent justifier. Okay.
Right.
You can justify a rent increase from $100 all the way to $1,000, depending on the quality of how luxury your property is. Okay. We take a percentage of that justification, and that justification for Elite is $100 per unit. So I'll give you a prime example. So let's say, for instance, a property has an apartment that they're renting out for $3,000. All of a sudden, they added the Elite value to their property. Now they can raise that rent to $3,300. Okay, and they have a strong justifier for doing it. Not like, hey, we just added a new. As I hear sometimes communities tell me that they just added bear tab to their property. I'm like, oh wow, so now you guys are getting people drunk. You know what I mean? And I respect all of that, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying now you're getting people drunk. Okay, I guess That's the best way to raise rent on someone. Get them drunk and then raise rent. Well, you don't have to do it, you know. Now you can give them the value of health and then raise rent. Say, hey, look, this is real value here, okay? What would it mean for someone to move into a property 50 pounds overweight, then a year later they're down 50 pounds? I'm forever connected to that building. I'm forever connected to what you guys have done for me. Okay, you guys
Right.
have had a real human value to my life. Okay, this is not a lounge that I barely use. Okay, this is not you know, an illusion that is created that I never use. This is real value that engages me every day and gets me in the right track. So when I go out there and deal with things in the world, I am in an elite state of mind. Okay, this is what we're bringing here. So great rent justifier, and back to that terminology. So if the apartment is renting for $3,000, now you could rent it out for 33. So on that 33, there's a $300 increase there. We would get paid $100, and the owners would make an extra $200 on a stale amenity that wasn't making them no money in the form of NOI. So it's a win-win value here. Owners cannot lose. How can you lose? And at the end of the tax season, it's 100% tax deductible. And it's not scheduled. So how can you lose here?
Right.
You tell me the rationale.
Now, I don't know how this works, but a lot of health insurance plans pay for a health club membership, which I would consider this kind of on that idea. So can they submit something like that that's being billed on your rent? If I mean, I'm sure if it's itemized, maybe if they say, well,
We never seen things like that, so I can't comment on that. But like I said, I mean, the real value is having it right in their building, and owners saying, hey, we have a fiduciary responsibility for the people that move into our building, and it's to make sure that the people that we move into our building, they're healthy, both mentally, physically, and spiritually, that they are at peak thinking, you know, and these tend to be better residents anyway. They tend to be great residents, you know, residents that have
right,
great jobs and really are out there in the workforce being really productive, but they're coming home with tremendous stress. They're coming home with tremendous overload of societal pressure, and they're going right into their apartment and they're hiding, and they're coming down with all different mental health issues. Okay, let's add value there.
right. So if someone's interested in finding out more information about this, Lewis, do you have a website?
Yeah, of course. You can pull up the Elite Wellness Amenity Group website. It's www.elitewellnessamenitigroup.com. Their owners can fill out a request for a pilot. We do 3-day pilots where we can take raw data in that 3-day pilot and show you that this is going to work in your property. We've done pilots with other communities. We just recently just finished the pilot with the community in Waltham, Barnes and Boulevard. We gave them a 3-day pilot. Under that 3-day pilot, we gave them 48 slots. Okay, 48 slots. Okay, all those slots was taken in 3 days. That shows you engagement.
Right,
Okay, because people were like, oh, wow. And not only that, but we had raw testimony of people saying, hey, look, I will do this. I will pay extra for this. People already pay extra for it. That's the thing. But they pay extra for it at a gym. Okay? To have personal training one-on-one at a gym for 1 hour costs someone anywhere from $100 to $150 for 1 hour. Okay, for 1 hour. We are able to put it in a way where it can be done in your building, and that cost can be shared amongst all residents in a low tier way where it provides residents with tremendous value, where they can come down and work with their coaches twice every single week, 3 times every single week. Okay, that's real value there. So residents are already paying for it somewhere else. Okay, and they're not experiencing the convenience factor. Okay, they're not experiencing none of that. you have they have the power to do it right in their building, and really add that to residents.
Well, Louis, it's been very exciting to talk to you. Great topic. I love it. I wish you all the success in the world. Uh, I I I think that this is something that a lot of office property owners should consider as well, because a lot of the people that are some people work like 14 hours a day in an
Hmm.
office. That would break up the day somewhat,
Hmm.
I would think.
Yeah.
So,
We do work with offices too. The beauty about our service is very flexible in the sense that every unique building, every property, we understand it's unique in its own way. It has its own behavior, it has its own flow. We understand that. There's no one right way to go about doing anything here. We understand that everything that we do at Elite is customizable. We really want to get to know the pain point. We really want to get to know the challenges. We really want to kind of dissect the problem before we could come with a solution on the table and say, hey, look, let's look at the solution here. And the solution that we usually always bring to the table is a KPI oriented solution that really adds to the bottom line, which is the metrics. But at the same time, okay, it adds so much of the human value to the actual property that residents go, hey, I don't want to leave. I belong here. Okay. If I go down the street, okay, I'm not going to get this. Okay. If I go down the street, they're going to give me an abandoned gym. If I move here, okay, I'm going to get a gym and I'm going to get a personal trainer and a nutrition and I'm going to get a community and I'm going to get X, Y, and Z. The value proposition really outweighs a lot of what we see out there in the marketplace.
okay. Well, I'm gonna have to take your word for it because I haven't seen the gym in a long time. But
It's the new year, Rick. We got to get
I
to, we got
know,
to got to get out there, man.
yeah. I mean, so let's talk about that for a
Okay,
second.
okay, okay,
A new year.
okay.
Yeah, everyone throws out these resolutions they're
Yeah,
gonna do.
yeah.
So is all of a sudden you're inundated by residents that want to come and do this? Is
We're seeing a lot of influx of residents in Elite Home Fitness. Elite Home Fitness, which is the parent company. So that company, we've always worked with residential buildings as vendors, really providing in-home coaching to their residents when their residents want it. Okay. And we see a lot of value there. But, like I said, we said, hey, look, the real value is for owners to change the way they think about this approach here. Okay. This service here needs to be provided to residents in the form of an amenity. And it's the best form of amenity that you can provide to a resident.
right.
But yes, we do see that influx to answer your question.
Now, how do you have additional uh, personal trainers that you bring in when like at the beginning of the year, you get everyone wants to start an exercising program and they want to lose weight.
Hmm.
So you get like 20 people that come in, 15 stay, five drop off. You don't need you only if you brought in five trainers, now you only need three. So you have those trainers that you can pull in at any time.
Oh yeah, we have an influx. We have a huge network of trainers. Huge networks of trainers. The cool thing about our trainers, we really go out of the way to make sure that they're elite quality trainers, meaning they're certified. They really know what their work. In terms of their work, they're really passionate about it. They're really people focused. Me, I love people, so that's one of the things that I always, hey man, you got to really go out your way for people. The model that we built at Elite was the opposite model of the gym. Everything that the gym does, we do the opposite. It's just how we work here. The gym says, hey, get up and come here to me. Well, the client is paying us. So, hey, guys, guess what? You got to get up and go to the client. So
Right.
everything that the gym has done, we've done the opposite. And it's been a great, great model. That's really what we do. And really understanding that from a broader perspective in relations to the psychology, New Year's, everyone gets excited about fitness. It's just the way it is. But then as time goes by, that excitement die off. That excitement dies off because the discipline is not there, the encouragement is not there, the support is not there, the infrastructure of careness is not there. The will of wanting to do it, the understanding, none of those things are there anymore. So it dies off. But with our clients, the beauty about it, when they have someone coming to their home, those element of staying true to their goals usually sticks. On Elite Home Fitness, the average client trains with us for 6 months to a year when they sign an agreement to work out with us. So that's the value that we see. They're already paying us 5,000 and more for that value
Right.
uh, under Elite Home Fitness. Now, residential apartment buildings, they can provide them that same value at $100 per unit. And is more cost efficient for everyone because now the trainers in their building can keep them more accountable. The customization process of the resident is resident focused, and there's other group classes activities that are taking place in the building. So yeah, I mean, we can attest to that.
Great. And we've been talking to Louis Mendonca. I
Yes.
probably said it wrong.
No,
Did
you
I
got
say
it,
it?
Rick. No, Rick, you got it, man.
Yeah,
You got
okay.
it. You got it.
He's the CEO of Elite Wellness Amenity Group. And it's very exciting to hear about this, because a lot of people are interested in health fit and fitness right now. And their website is www.elitewellnessaminitygroup.com. And I'm sure Lewis would be happy to hear from any one of you that are listening today. Again, thank you, Lewis. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah,
And I want to thank everyone for listening. You're listening to NEREJ, NYREJ podcast, and I'm your host, Rick Kaplan. And until next time.
awesome. Thank you, Rick. Appreciate you, man.